Hello, hello, hello. It is ElCid 932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. I see already Ari. Thank you for the purple hearts. Thank you for being here. This is ElCid Unscripted. I made a post. I asked you to give me some topics you may want to talk about. Hey, Unfiltered Doll Reactions. Glad to have you here. I put a post said, what do y'all want to talk about? Okay. This was your time to say, hey, let me catch her while I can. Because I can talk about a whole host of things in a whole host of different ways. And I got 3 posts. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So I do have the first one, and while you're coming in, please like, make sure you're subscribed. The channel is growing, and I would like you to help me grow and grow with me. So definitely. Hey, Samantha, glad to have you here. So we have ElCid 932 Unscripted. I don't know if I should be scared or if you should be scared. Because if I'm playing, I know exactly what I'm going to say. And if I'm not, whoops, you don't know. You really don't know. So someone asked, let's talk about where are the leaders? And that is something very interesting. Where are the leaders? I will flip that around, and I love a good flip. I will ask, where are the followers? Are we going to follow? And where are the critical thinking followers? Because, yes, we could think of followers back in the day. We had the civil rights movement, we had other things, and it's like, okay, we had leaders, but do we know those leaders weren't perfect? We're hearing about all these folks coming out talking about, oh, MLK this, and in his personal life that. And I'm like, does that negate all the great things that he has done? I mean, heck, if we look at the history, of Malcolm X from his autobiography, Malcolm was out there, but he still turned out to be a great leader for many. So where are the leaders? It's like there are leaders out here. And I wonder if we're looking hard enough. One of the leaders that I have followed his political career from, not from inception, but real close to it, the great senator out of the great state of New Jersey. I know I almost choked on that as a New Yorker. Senator Cory Booker. I followed him from when he lost his first mayoral election, and the way he lost and the way he came back years later to become mayor and then become, state senator. I really, really admire that. And now he's still the senator. And we've seen he has, followed history. He was on the floor for 25 plus hours, speaking. So we're the leaders. I think we need to look around and see that there are leaders out there. And it's a matter of where they're leading us to and where you wish to follow them to. So there are leaders. I think the tradition of how they're leaders is a little different. It's a little different. Social media, I don't know if Malcolm X would become Malcolm X if we had cameras and social media and the footage of what he did back in the day. I'm just saying. I think society we're a little bit different. But here, I don't like to do too much politics. That is, my personal life. I like to follow politics, but I would like this channel to be where you can get away from stuff. I'm not talking about the major case that is going on right now in the federal courts in, the great state of New York. I'm not talking about that. This is going to be the place where you come and you get a little laugh, and a little kiki is going to be different. It's not going to be what everybody's talking about. And that's one thing my friends are always saying, no matter what they're going through, they can call me up and I could distract them for a moment about it, and they could get a good laugh and feel a little better about themselves. And that's what I would like this channel to continue to do. That's why I did unsolicited advice. It could be a little rough, but I have decided it's going to be a little laugh and some good sage advice from the audience and myself. So here's another one. Here's another question from that post for ElCid Unscripted. It says, want to have an interesting discussion on how we, especially women, can be more encouraging and supporting of each other as we navigate the mental and emotional challenges of this era. I'm interested in how women feel compelled to buy hundreds of dollars worth of clothes, makeup, hair, etc., but it is essential that we save money to prepare for a potential economic downturn. I'm guessing someone is here. If you want to say who you are, you could certainly say if that was your question. I'm just going to keep it, as Unfiltered Doll said, it's going to be HIPAA. I'm not going to say, people can go to the post and see who it is. Samantha said, it feels like leaders are being drowned out by negativity at times. It is. It's like we look at their behavior in certain things. Does that negate them from being able to do such great things elsewhere? To go to Africa said, I have the privilege of seeing him and hearing him speak, highly respected and admired. I'm guessing you're talking about Senator Cory Booker. Hey, Debbie, glad to have you here. Debbie is one of our long-standing members here. Well, not member. We don't have memberships yet, but Debbie has definitely been here from inception. Trey Mack said, I was here to wait to hear your opinions on baby oil and kiddie pools. Now, that will have nothing to do with the trial. If you want to hear my opinion about baby oil and kiddie pools, it will be of that era. Okay? If we want to talk about certain topics within that, but I'm not going over that trial, there's an oversaturation of the market. But right now, I'll get back to you, Trey Mack. I will star your request for later, okay? So how we can be supportive of each other, we can just be supportive, but understand that everybody we support ain't necessarily going to be going down the road we wish to go. Like, I will support a small business and I will make sure that I support them at least one time. If the quality is not there, you know what I'll do? I'll hush. I'm not going to put a bad review out there to force other people not to, kind of work with that small business. I really don't want to talk about it, Ari, but we'll talk about certain things, okay? Samantha said we love us some Trey Mack. Okay, so I'll answer his afterwards. So yeah, we can just be supportive. I just choose not to show negativity unless I have been harmed in some way. If I don't enjoy a product that a small business or a local business is providing, I just don't say anything. But I will encourage. If anybody comes to me, I am a wealth of information. I believe information is free. If you ask me, hey, how can I do this? How can I do that? The information from me is just free. Like last night, I went to the award ceremony for my youngest son. He got a medal for graduation. He's on the AB honor roll his entire high school life. I didn't even realize. Here I am signing off on report cards, and I didn't even realize that even at homeschool, he was AB honor roll every single year. So here he is, he got his medals, and there's a grandmother who comes to sit next to me, and she's telling me all her business. And I'm, being very nice and polite, not telling her my business. And then it's like, she's on the phone next to me asking someone about graduation tickets. And she's like, hey, we only get 5 tickets. So no, certain people just can't come. So here I am, only 3 of us are going. So I have 2 extra tickets. So I said, after she got off the phone, I said, hey, you want these couple tickets? She's like, well, how much? I said, do you want the tickets? She's like, yeah. I said, I'm not charging you. These are tickets I'm going to pick up and get for free. Why would I charge you? Now, that's just me. Apparently, there is a marketplace for the graduation tickets out there, and people are trying to rack it up. I am just like, here you are. We had a good little conversation, a little kiki here. We don't know each other. And I have 2 extra tickets. Here you go. Right. You want the tickets or no, ma'am? You want the tickets or no? I'm not asking you, but apparently there is a market. The kids, I don't know if the kids are telling their parents they're selling it. Now, I don't know who's going to get the money in the end, but she was telling me, yes, some people charging $50 a ticket. I said, wow. Okay. I said, but no. I said, what I'm not going to do is deliver it to your house. You can meet me at the, school at the front office in the lobby when you're picking your grandson up, and I'll just hand you the 2 tickets. She's like, oh, that's great. That's great. We exchange numbers and that's it. For me, information or whatever I have, If I didn't have to go out of my way, if I didn't have to spend my money to get it, why not? Why not give it to somebody who can use it? Now there's two extra family members who's there to cheer on that graduate. Why would I sell it? For me is just, but that's just me. That's just my moral compass. It's not for everybody, and I'm not judging anyone who wishes to sell it, because I did ask my graduate. He said, well, if people really need the money, he's like, Mom, some people need gas money. Maybe they need the money for gas so that people can come to the graduation. See, my child is also thinking, well, yeah, maybe they can sell it for a certain amount. So then I asked, should we sell it? He's like, no, we really don't need any gas. Now, why he's fixated on gas, this is my son who does, he's high functioning, autistic, and he is a new driver. So we got him a rusted up hoopty, and he is driving. And while he is driving, we're having this conversation, and it's his first time night driving. And we were having this, and I was like, let me see how your mind works. So I said, should we sell it to her? He doesn't know her. He met her for 2 minutes. I met her grandson. I said, so if I can't make it, you two young men got to know each other in order to exchange these tickets. He was like, okay. We had the conversation. I know where he stands. He knows where I stand. And, it's like we are certainly on the same level, but he's no judgment to anyone who wants to sell those tickets. Samantha said he ain't lying about the gas. Now, the only reason I say he kind of lying about the gas is we got him a rusted up hoopty, okay? We got him a rusted hoopty that's a 2013 Kia Soul. And that car sips gas. When I tell you, my eldest, my husband, and this youngest, all three of them been using this vehicle around town. And when I tell you, we look around and say, well, y'all been using this car all week. How much gas has been used? They're like, just a little, about a quarter tank. And I'm like, maybe I need to change cars. So the other part of that question was, we spend hundreds of dollars with makeup, hair, when it's essential, we save money and prepare for an economic downturn. Now, for some people, the economic downturn is different. I don't wear makeup. For me, it's not a matter of the money, it's a matter of the time. I don't want to spend all the time putting on makeup and then have to wash it off later. Okay? That's just me. Is my skin perfect? No, it's not. But that's just my preference. I moisturize, that's about it. I wash, that's about it. But to add makeup and layers, that ain't me. But again, it could be, my past trauma, because my grandmother and mother were pageant girls. Maybe I saw too much makeup. Maybe I saw too many layers. My grandparents were entertainers as well. And I saw a lot of the backstage in the entertainment venues. So there's a ton of makeup. There's a ton of scents, smells, perfumes, everything. And I'm just like, this is just too much for you to go on stage for what? An hour and then be done? Yeah. Hey, I said what I said. Glad to have you here. So why women or people spend so much money on hair, makeup, and all this when the economy is going in a downward direction? That is a personal question. And I can't spend on other people's money. What I can say is some folks, their makeup and that look is tied to their identity. As you see me, I have embraced the gray. Many people above 40 have not. I come from a family where we meaning them, they gray. I didn't. They gray hair start at 16. My grandmother was full gray when she was 16, and she decided after a time she will not rock her gray hair. So again, it is a personal preference. I didn't start gray until my 30s. And I was dying. And I'm like, this is a trip. Why am I dying? I ain't got the time for all this. Hey, High Vibe. So glad to have you here. So the economic downturn for me, for this question, why are women spending so much on hair, makeup, and clothes when the economy seems to be on rocky ground? It kind of like I feel like people forgot what COVID was like. And I'm sorry if you're not thinking this. When we had COVID, it seems like we got down to the bare bones of what we actually needed to do and can and cannot do. Unfiltered Dog said, I love to express myself, so I love to treat myself. Exactly. Now, some women, you will see them with the hair, like I do my own hair. I buy the hair and I do it myself. For me, just me, I do the stuff myself. My natural hair, sometimes I have learned to make a natural wig. I'll do it myself. But that was COVID. COVID gave me the one experience to get out there, not get out, you know what I mean, to get basically out of the norm of going to a salon. So I was already natural, I was already trying to, I was like, dang, I cannot really braid cornrow. Let me try this, let me try that. COVID, being trapped at home, gave me so much time to kind of learn how to do my hair myself. So when I got out of COVID, I continued doing it. Now, am I tempted to go to the salon? Of course. Of course. This natural 4C here that y'all have seen me rock, it takes a whole day just to get it to conform into something. Okay? Now, just like I misbehave, my hair misbehaves too. So I have, these wayward curls. This is exactly how my hair would behave. So I've decided, let me just embrace it. But I think people come out of COVID and we've fallen back into stuff. Like I love seeing the weddings where it is like a minimal amount of guests, but it's so well done. It's outdoors. Beautiful. That's not everybody. We are back into the full hall weddings. Now, my second wedding to Mr. ElCid was in a friend's gazebo with just my kids, my mother, that same friend, and the pastor and his wife. That's it. It wasn't during COVID. It was before COVID. But I had a bachelorette shindig, my friends at the house, and we chilled it up. Everybody could stay over and sleep over, and that was about it. I catered it, and that was about it. And then we later on went and we had we had our gazebo wedding, and then we went and had lunch. We had a lovely table at a local restaurant. Again, supporting small business, a local restaurant. I went and I said, "Hey, I have to have lunch. It's a bridal party, but it's just us. It was about 10 of us." And they're like, "Oh, sure." But they took us to a private room. They decorated very well. We had lunch and we left and we went home. To me, that was perfect. To me, that was even before COVID. But to spend all that on a wedding, and I always tell my mother, for people to eat and then poop it out later, that's just too much money for me. Great job on the styling. Well, thank you, To Go to Africa. The styling was called Shake and Go. The styling is take the bonnet off, shake it, and go. Because I maintain it like before I go to bed, I kind of like would moisturize it and stuff. But thank you, To Go to Africa. Unfiltered Doll said, now I'm starting to embrace more DIY approach to beauty and fashion, but I think it works for whoever the individual is. Exactly. Sometimes we have to figure out how to show our personal style with minimal cost or through our own creativity. Samantha says, post-COVID, folks may not feel like being constricted. I understand. You trying to get back into things. Okay. Yep, my wedding, my second wedding was very intimate. My first one was the whole shebang. Oh my gosh. It was for my mother and grandmother. Let's put it that way. My first one was everybody, because nobody thought I would ever get married. No, but anyone who knew me growing up was like, who? Oh, I got to see this. Everybody who saw it said, oh, I got to see this girl. What? She gonna do what? There's actually somebody that's gonna lasso this girl? We got to see it. Y'all, just Rhonda and we are usually at Another Round JS covering Never Ever Met. So we're gonna do so tonight at 9:05. So please check out her channel. She does the housewives and the married twos. So check out Just Rhonda. Glad to have you here, Just Rhonda. Glad to have you supporting. But yeah, first time I ran, my first wedding, I ran to 2 states over when my mother and grandmother were on vacation together. So I didn't have them fussing and mussing. And when they came back, they were like, oh yeah, now it's time to go get dressed, do this, do that. I said, oh no, all that done. It's in the closet inside. They were very, very upset. I will say that. And we will get into another time of when I'll do the rewatch of the live series finale of SWAT comes on. Hey girl, comes on tonight. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We always love a good rewatch. We'll get into another ElCid Unscripted where I will let you know. My first wedding, I was full pregnant, 8 months in a white dress and veil. But that's for another live. So another question coming in for that post was, in the spirit of upcoming Love is Blind series, what will that will focus on people over 50? I'm interested to discuss why some folks may think it may lead to a dull presentation. We mature folks can bring spice and drama to the table too. So this person is saying, why people think that it's going to be dull with the 50 and over. No, I don't think it's going to be dull. Okay. I know quite a few spicy grandmas. And when I was younger, my great grandmother was still around. Okay. I think the over 50s are going to bring the spice. The problem is, do I really want to see senior spice? It's kind of like I'm saying, the Spice Girls. Do I really want to see the geriatric Spice Girls? I'm sorry. Okay. Right High vibe. Later Daters was not dull. But there's a certain level I want to see, that I want to see about them. Okay. Oh my God, I'm going to watch that. Now, y'all, the Unfiltered Doll reactions always has this, oh my God, I'm going to watch that. She gets one episode, maybe one and a half, and then we lose her. But I appreciate the excitement. Samantha says, I am 54. I asked the question, folks. So Samantha is letting us know that she was there, that she is in the over 50 group. Later daters. So I said, not geriatric. Samantha, I don't know. They just said over 50. What's the max? Not a shotgun wedding. I'm interested in that story. Exactly, Trey Mac. And it is a story from preparation. No. From pre-proposal. It is a story. And that'll be for another live. It will be for another live. Unfiltered Doll, you said you like the later daters? Okay. Yeah, I'm calling out Unfiltered Doll reaction on this very much real-time live. Later daters was cool. Yes, it was. We saw, I was the only one who was side-eyeing Big Willie. 5 kids. He got 5 kids, and we never knew how many mothers of those children he had. There's a reason why some young men like cougars. Well, here's the thing to go to Africa. Is it going to be a cougar situation? Unfiltered Doll, I'm just telling the business that you told outright in the open, okay? This is not behind the membership wall, okay? We have a good old time at the Unfiltered Doll reactions. If y'all like to talk about and look and see what's going on the Instagram streets, where the scammers reside, she does give us a great story time covering all of those, as well as, if you are a member, you will get her daily recaps of the case that's happening in New York right now. Now, is it going to be a cougar situation to go to Africa? I don't know. They just said the over 50 crowd. Over 50. Now, for me, over 50, what is the age range? I think everybody going to be over 50. But I don't want to be any higher than 50 to 70. And it better be a sprightly 70. It better be a 70 that make me go, ooh, okay, I just might. Step aside, Grandma. It better be an age group of folks that really, really are bringing it, that we may think. They know that they can be very spicy. Now, I am expecting the seniors, y'all, Love is Blind. Brazil is going to be an over 50 group. Everybody's going to be over 50. I'm watching because, grandmama ain't got to keep, everything too kosher. Grandmama can be as spicy as she needs to be. Grandma ain't going to be caught out there unless it's, disease ridden. I'm thinking grandma and grandpa are going to be out there having fun and living it up. They don't need to be married at the end. You wasn't only one side-eyeing Big Willie. I was with you. Homegirl was too wide open. For Willie, she was. She wasn't open for anybody else. Represent for the Cougars. Okay. Samantha said, getting to see the diversity of relationships in a different life season is interesting. I think it is. I think it is. It's really, really great. Hey, Miss Boogie Down. ElCid chat checking from the bushes. High Vibe says, shout out to us 50 Cent crew. Hey, 50 cents, you're halfway to $1. Halfway to $1. 50 and up in the house. I guess in my live crew is over 50. Many women gain momentum at 40 and sustain it for a couple of decades while the men lose it. Now, some men do lose it. Some, if you watch my unsolicited advice, you realize some men don't even have their momentum in their 20s anymore. Some men, may miss it. They ain't even have it in their 20s, because we are finding some 20-something year olds with ED needing inflatable devices to get up and keep up. Y'all, if y'all have not been watching my unsolicited advice, you're missing out on some, advice where necessary. Advice where necessary. Am I the youngest one here? Ari, are you throwing shade? Is that shade, Ari? Am I the youngest one here? If you're the youngest one here, to just sit in your pew and don't bring attention to it. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? Am I the youngest one here? We didn't need to recognize you, but we do right now. Everyone, Ari may be the youngest one here. So the over 50 dating, I'm interested to know. I'm interested to know, how are they going to proceed? Are they trying to get married? If anything, shade towards myself. Now, how are they going to date? They're going to talk to each other. I'm wondering if there's somebody that's going to talk too much about their grandkids. If someone is going to talk too much about, their maybe they're a widow or widower, maybe talk too much about their deceased spouse, and that may be a turnoff. I want to see if the grandpas are going to be sabotaging each other in the men's lounge. You see, that's the thing that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the spice. I'm looking for all the stuff. Are the grandmas going to keep their mouth shut about who they're interested in and dating? I'm sure they should know how to play this game very well. Hey, Jackson Tabasco, glad to have you here. We're talking about how Love is Blind Brazil, they have confirmed that they're going to be over 50. How are the over 50s going to date in Love is Blind? I'm ready for the spice. Because I know there are people over 50 who got no lid on their mouth. They're going to say what they got to say because they got permission with age. That's what I'm waiting for. Barbara? Shirley said, hush. Shirley said, that's her man. And if you don't, she's going to slip some in your tea. I'm waiting for the older ladies to give it. So besides Ari, is everyone here over 40? Do I need to put a poll? Are you asking for a poll, Trey Mac? No, we're not going to call you that. I'm sorry. You ain't even take us out to dinner yet. I don't think so. These people are I think those are stereotypes about older people. I know, but later daters did live up to some of my stereotypes about older folks dating. When will the season start for Love is Blind Brazil? We don't know yet. This was just news that I saw, and I had posted it, I believe, last week, Friday. And I wanted to see how everybody felt about it. But I know Love is Blind Francais, that is scheduled to come out soon. Now, I'm not a betting person, but we've always had Love is Blind to come out in the summer. So last year, August was UK. I'm wondering if they're trying to slip into UK on us, or if they'll actually give us France by August. Trimac, if you don't quit. Miss Boogie Down said, that is me, 51 and no filter. No filter. Miss Boogie Down, I got on that boat a little early. Once I started graying, I started acting like I was a senior. So y'all forgive me. When I started embracing my gray, I would act like I'm over 50. I have no lid over my mouth unless you're paying me to be well behaved. And I would go to the store and they would ask senior discount, yes. Or I would say senior discount, please. And who gonna check me, boo? Do you not see this gray? Do you not see this gray? I will use this gray to my advantage. Generation X will be more like Kim. This is Keisha. Yes, I agree with to go to have a huge stereotype. Okay, I'm doing huge stereotypes. Well, my mother never got married, so I'm also watching my mother date. So again, the stereotype I am pulling from my experience. UK scheduled to soon too, but I thought it would be out by now. Maybe it'll be July or August this year. Yeah, last year was August. I'm looking forward to both Love is Blinds. I'm out the womb a senior. Divorced by 44 taught me a lot. Girl, how old was I when I divorced? I was in my 30s when I divorced the first time. The only time. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I was. Hmm. If I was not late 30s, it would be early 40s. I forget which year. I have to catch myself when I call young people sweetie or darling. Oh. You see, when I say sweetie, it's not because I think you're sweet. I'll just put it out there. When I say, sweetie, it ain't a sweet moment. It's not a sweet moment. Now, darling, yes, I may get away with that. But when I say sweetie, it's not because you're sweet. It's because you're getting on my nerves. And I'm trying to remain sweet myself, not to call you sweetie. The older I get chronologically, the younger my mind thinks I am. Okay, to go to Africa. So maybe that's going to be in the pods. So I'm looking for, okay, so here's what I'm looking. I'm looking for the golden girls of the pods. Who is going to be Blanche, Dorothy, who's going to be the Betty White's character? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for who are going to be my Golden Girls cast. Okay? When you call someone sweetie, it's supposed to be a dick. Yeah, that's me. That's me. Sweetie? Even what my husband knows, if I call him sweetie, it's because I'm annoyed. Sweetie? He knows I'm very annoyed. I've never been married, nor have I kiddos. At 54, I feel like I'm just getting started with wisdom. Girl, I wish I felt like I had wisdom. Y'all make me feel like I have wisdom. I just talk, as people say at the side of my neck. If I was single, I would not want to date anyone. Girl, what my friends say is they're more thankful to the dating pool that I'm not out there because, like Rihanna said, I'm a savage dater. I'm sorry. I'm a savage dater. Or was. Lady Tiba, glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. Ari says, who are we doing the owl thing? Are we doing the owl thing? But yeah, I was a savage dater and I grew up around dudes. That was my friend base. It was 6 of them. The core group of I was 3, 2 guys and myself, but another one had an older brother and his friend crew. And so I grew up. That's why everybody thought I'd never get married. Let's just put it that way. I hate for some people from some ethnic groups to call me sweetie. I understand. I don't like the darling from some people because darling used to mean you want something. And sweetie too used to be want something. When my aunt used to say, sweetie, come here, she's sending you on an errand. It could be to the store. It could be just to pick up her smokes. It could be to get her something. I'm not in these streets dating, Samantha, but we're going to be in the pods dating. We're going to be watching the pod dates. That's what we're going to be watching. Now, I was quoting Dorothy Zbornak during the funeral episode. Neighbor that wrote, yep, killing. Yeah. Okay, now I understand. There's certain words I cannot say on YouTube. I cannot say. So since those were the 3 things, let me go back to the start one. Trey Mack came in here like a wrecking ball, as he usually does. And I said I was not going to discuss the case. I'm not going to discuss the major cases happening in New York. I think it's oversaturated. And if you want more detailed content, y'all need to go see Lady Tiba. Go to her channel, go to her chat. She is covering a lot of cases and she does it more than in depth than I ever could. Also, if you want also some other news, go to I Said What I Said. Her channel covers the Ernest Williams case as well as many other topics. And if you follow I Said What I Said, she goes to other channels and she covers a lot of, especially, news you can definitely use and have a great opinion on. Okay, so that's where I would say, please, those two ladies, love their content. I don't think I'm going to go back out on the dating streets. However, I am a Gemini. So there are two sides to I Said What I Said. So the one that said, I ain't going onto the streets, but I am a Gemini. So you see, both just came out in that one statement. You're going to go out in that pink fur? If you see her post, she has a post with a pink fur coat. Absolutely love it. So, but Trey Mack wanted me to talk about my opinion on the baby oil and the kiddie pools. Okay, we're going to go there. We're going to go there. So I grew up in an era where baby oil in a kiddie pool isn't as nefarious as it's being made out to be in this trial. Okay? There are places where you go and there are oil wrestling contests, or so I heard. Okay? So I've been told through the grapevine that there are oil wrestling contests, so you would have to get a kiddie pool or small pool of some kind, or some use large pools, so I've heard, okay? And then you have people pull numbers, and then you have to wrestle in the kiddie pool full of baby oil. Now that's what I have heard, what I have known in the era when I was, hanging out in New York and other states. Okay? So I'm just saying all the other details and the other stuff they're doing. Now, have I, paid the admission to go see a baby oil wrestling party? Sure. But all this whatever they did after the bell went ding, 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 and they declared a winner, I don't know. So if you've ever seen the movie Old School and they did it there, yeah. That's as far as I know it will get. Other than that, I have no clue. Also, I don't even know how to flirt or anything anymore. Marjan, you ain't got to do too much. Just throw out the bait and let them come to you. I'm just saying. Just throw out the bait, and the bait is just look good and be in the proper place, and they will come to you. I'm just saying. That's just a divert. I don't know if it's oversaturated. I haven't seen too much about it myself, at least actual conversation, not salacious talks for clickbait. Yeah, some people are doing salacious talks for clickbait. I have to say, again, this is New York. This is a certain era my mind is coming from, okay? That you have heard whispers of these things. And, some of us know to stay away from some people and some things like that. If people want to invite you to certain parties, you are to say no. You know how we are taught, don't take candy from strangers. Don't take anything that's open, or when it's Halloween, check for different things in the candy. We know in New York, in that era, if you're around some people, they'd be like, nah, Like you'll be given, like I know people that walk around and like slip an invitation in your textbook. If you're sitting there studying, they'll slip an invitation under your book. And you're supposed to like see it. And it's like, oh, okay. You to call this number. That it was back in the day, it was a beeper number. You call that beeper number and somebody call you back and they tell you the location of the party. You were told don't go there. Don't even go there. Don't even think about going. I'll be like, okay, I'm curious, but I ain't that curious. Because when some people tell you don't go there, you are literally going to be like, okay, I'm not. Now, some people, you think they're shady, you may still want to peek behind the curtain. When some people tell me don't go, I just don't go. That's what I said. Marjan, all you do is dress up and they are coming. So Marjan was saying she don't know how to flirt. Y'all, we know how to flirt. Just dress up. You ain't got to do too much. Just be very polite, very nice, smile, and don't talk too much about yourself. ask them questions because they like to talk. I said, if you put your picture up, I'm 1,000% sure you would have so many people. Now we're trying to get for you, Marjan. We ain't talking about, I said, what as I said, count. Yeah, in New York City, you could get caught up in a freak off on a random Friday night. High vibe? High vibe. You ain't lied at all. You have not lied at all. That's all I'm going to say about that right there. You could be caught up in so many ways in New York, but you have to also listen. You have to listen to yourself. You have to be observant. Also, I learned very early on there's some places and something I didn't start drinking alcohol until my mid-20s because I had, family and friends who had a bad relationship with it. So I was like, oh, I'm not going there. I'm not doing that to have myself have a slower response level if anybody, tried me. And again, tried me, I was more the fighter. I was more like why are you looking at me like that? I was more the, step to you, like, what are you looking at? Are you looking at something? I was more that person. So I don't want to be, slowed down by the consumption of alcohol. Now I'll mix alcohol, I'll make it, I'll give you a drink and stuff, but I'm not partaking. It's like riding a bicycle. You don't have difficulty getting back on it, riding it again, Marjan. Marjan, you're getting a lot of advice here. I said I had some people who said stuff on IG. I blocked them extremely fast. Yeah, okay, let's go there. It's going to be light. I met Mr. ElCid online on a dating app. Okay. I was a slayer of dragons on dating app when I was single. Okay. Take it as you will. Slayer of dragons. So I would block people. There's certain criteria, and I have helped my girlfriends. Some of them have slayed dragons, and some of them, walked away from the whole battlefield. But definitely help them write their profiles. And there's a thing to conversation and talking to people and standing out. Again, I say this as I've got a great personality, but you won't know that until you come to me, until you're talking to me. So my profile is all you'll see. Now, I am not a thirst trap profile person at all. I am also a plus size young lady, always been plus size since high school. So I'm not going to, I'm not going to cover up and no. I'm not going to put my behind on display. It's going to be very tasteful, very demure. It's going to be a t-shirt like this. I'm not going to be putting the girls out for just everybody to see. Not happening. And the same thing with whoever I'm going to date. Mr. ElCid's profile was the same. He's a very simple t-shirt guy, t-shirt and jeans. Very, very simple. He ain't a Jordan's person. Very simple, but clean and very classic, clean cut. And he also had a picture of him on his job. So that also told me you work. So there were certain things that I just don't. If you have got a picture of yourself by a headboard, if you've got no shirt on in your pictures, you are not getting a swipe. You are a delete. You are a block. You are this. Now, even with all of my checks and balances, have I gotten distasteful pictures and distasteful conversations from some men? Yes. It comes to they are trying you to. You're having conversation. They're trying to have conversation. Their end goal and your end goal may be different. Y'all just have to converse with each other. So all I got to say is you have to have a standard when you're getting out there. If it's a dating profile, and you have to have something that really captures attention in a fact, like something unique about yourself. What was unique about me at the time was I was a huge football fan. You couldn't have a conversation with me about football and stats that I wouldn't know. And that would resonate with most guys. Wait a minute, you like football? So then they're challenged. They're like, no, you really don't like football. I bet you back then I was like, I bet you I could tell you the top 5 draft picks. And I bet you I could tell you who picked them, where they went, and where they were traded to. That's how I was distinguished apart from, I hate to say it, the flock, but apart from the group of birds that were there, the distinction was I knew something about sports. I knew something behind the scenes. I didn't mind spending my Sundays for sports, but even then, I didn't mind spending my Saturdays with sports because I want to know who you were in college before you got to the pros. Now, after everything happened and the NFL kind of showed me who they were, this is before Kaepernick. This is before that. I started watching and learning how the college kids were not taken care of by the colleges if they were injured. And that slowly had me pulling away from watching sports and really supporting sports. But I used to have t-shirts. Heck, even basketball. I still got my Tim Duncan shirt. In football, I got a Marvin Harrison. I had a whole bunch of NFL and NBA shirts are still in my closet. Do I wear them going out now? Not really. Am I watching sports on Sunday? Not really. If there's something to support, because we have a distant relative who's in a sport that's playing professionally, I'll watch it. That's about it. And, cheer them on with the family. That's about it. But other than that, I just stopped. But in the dating profile, that was what resonated with some. Now, Mr. ElCid, he don't watch sports. Here I am, being that sports was what I thought was my in talking to guys. And Mr. ElCid don't watch sports. He plays. He'd rather be out on the basketball court where he is now than watching basketball. He said, I'm not being paid to watch them, but they're being paid to perform. So here I am, that what my distinguishing character wasn't working or wasn't going to work with Mr. ElCid. He's like, yeah, that's cool. I don't watch football. It's like, dang. So what are we going to talk about? He's like, there's tons to talk about. How about this? How about we talk about some other stuff? There's more to life than football. And I was like, dang, okay. Now I got to switch my game up. And he's like, why are we playing a game? Why is this a game? It's like, dang, okay. When is this date over? And I never have to see you again? When is this date over and I never have to see you again? Okay, we ain't going to talk about football. This ain't a game. You want a real relationship. When's this going to be over? And, we ended up having when is this over? Ended up being a 5-hour date. And I was like, dang. Okay. Gotta be honest with this one. That this is a game. There's a roster. And right now, this is your placement in that roster. You gotta have honest conversation. If he's looking for something real and I was not at the time, you gotta have an honest conversation. That's me. You and I have so much in common. Which part to go to Africa? Because I only just saw the comment. Book, music, movies, yeah. But you see, he doesn't, it takes him longer to read a book. Marjan, I don't think you were here that live, but my Kindle says I read over 500 books a year. Mr. ElCid probably is 5. Probably 5 books for the year. If so much. So that is a little bit different. Movies, yeah, I can quote some movie lines. I know some show lines. Mr. ElCid will be like, what show is that? Lyrics to songs or sports, okay to go to Africa. Lyrics to songs, Mr. ElCid will start crooning and start singing, and I will be like, that ain't the lyrics. And I have to pull back and be like, is it about the lyrics or is it that he's just, singing? But, I used to DJ for a bit in high school. And so I knew songs and I knew song lyrics. And so those were deemed very important to me. So when you don't know the lyrics and you're messing up the song, I got a problem. It kind of throws my flow off. But that's just me. That's a personal problem. I'm interested in most sports. I am, but I'm interested behind the scenes. You know what I used to love? I used to love Real Sports with Brian Gumbel. and listening to the news and other like feel good stories behind sports, that used to be my go-to. And it's no more. And I find myself sometimes going back to real sports with Brian Gumbel and really like watching some of the other stuff, because it became what is a sport, because people were thinking chess is not a sport, and he brought different things like the video game championships and world games. Those are huge money making sports, but people don't think of video games as a sport. So I said smooth jazz concert are my loves. Now, okay, I said New York, Brooklyn, Brownsville, never run, never will. So you know the whole Junior Mafia, Biggie, Kim, all that, ooh, Prodigy. Okay. So jazz to me, I listen to jazz with a vocalist I can follow. Instrumental jazz isn't quite my jam. But if there is a vocalist, I'll listen to jazz, because I can at least follow along the beat and the rhythm with a vocalist. When it does not have a vocalist, it seems to me to be very disjointed. I just can't go with the flow. Soft rock and roll, maybe that's about as slow as I can get. But I used to be a Big Hair Band fan too. Big Hair Bands was my thing. I was a real dark grunge rocker chick too, in high school. I was. So the smooth jazz, you may find me tuned out when it's just the band, but if there's a vocalist there, and you know who I love to hear as a vocalist with smooth jazz, Jill Scott. If you ever heard Jill Scott do that, yeah. Jill Scott's voice is an instrument on its own. BDP still here still. A KRS-One fan, love Fat Joe, Remy Ma, love Big Pun, R.I.P. Girl, you taking me back, way back, when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match. I'm sorry, not about as much as YouTube will probably let me do. But yes, totally love. My first husband was from the Bronx, and I was represent he represented the Bronx, and I was raised down in Brooklyn. So that was fiery in itself. There wasn't I didn't used to hang around Staten Island too much, not too much, but all the other boroughs, heck yeah, all the other boroughs. That was just something. I used to take kids to the Bronx Zoo one time for the summer, at least a group of 5 kids, and just take them to the zoo, because sometimes kids from Brooklyn just sometimes never leave Brooklyn. If you could imagine that. Or if they leave Brooklyn, it's just to go to Manhattan and then come right back to Brooklyn. So to take a ride all the way to the Bronx and then to go to the zoo and have that experience, I used to just take 5 kids every year while I was in college. Love it. Big Daddy Kane, yeah, he could get it. LL Cool J too. Now, if there's somebody's husband right now, they can't. I think one of the best ways to fall in love with jazz is to attend an outdoor concert. Now, Samantha, I do like my outdoor concerts, but I like my old school hip hop outdoor concerts. That's where I love my outdoor concerts. I also love almost all genres of music, including newer genres of Afrobeats. Yes, I really do like Afrobeats. Do you like Rachel Farrell? Rachel Farrell? Are you saying it right? She's one of the best jazz singers. I think so. Is she oh my gosh. Was she part of that group that did not I just lost it. Was she a penny with a hole in it? Did she sing that as well? Did she cross over? Is that the same person I'm thinking of? I don't know. Let me know to go to Africa. I said what I said she loves outdoor concerts. Okay, Miss Boogie Down, you got some co-signers here. You got some co-signers. I can go from Wu-Tang to Dave Cause. I hope I'm saying his last name. She's much older. So she's much older than the other Farrell I'm thinking of. What is the Farrell I'm thinking of? What is the Farrell I'm thinking of? That's going to stick with me. Hopeless. Or I'm thinking about Dion Farris. Completely different person. I'll have to check her out. Method Man can get it too. Hey, AK F350. Method Man. Okay, that man is married. High vibe, but I understand. She collaborated with Al Giro often. Okay, I'll have to look her up. I really will have to look up. Now, there is some smooth jazz I have watched, but or have listened to. I just may not have it in a jazz category. I hate outside venue. I love concerts and music. I will dance to anything. But okay, Lady T-Bug is the first one that says she don't like the outside. The outdoors, we're going to have to keep them bugs together. We're going to have to get the acoustics together. Sometimes I don't like the crowd of a huge venue. I'll support you on that from afar. I'm going to a trail ride event this summer. Oh my word. I said what I said. Just an event, or are you going on the trail ride? Because I really do. Okay, there used to be, if you're from New York and you know this, you know where Linden Boulevard ends over there by Howard Beach area, where Linden Boulevard ends, and it was like a triangle piece of land. The Black Cowboys used to be there. If you used to hang out with, Rough Riders and stuff, motorcycle crew, they used to be out there on that, on that side of the, the Boulevard of Linden. If you know there used to be Black Cowboys there, and they used to have events out there. There used to be events out there, and I used to love to see that because, again, it was exposure. My grandfather, who lived in Howard Beach, Queens, he used to make sure that, we were exposed to a lot of the Black events, and especially we used to go to Aqueduct Racetrack. I know it used to be a flea market there, but the Aqueduct, we used to go to the opening day when we had to get dressed up, and we had to know which fork and knife to use while we are, outside. We had to be well dressed for the races the first day of racing at Aqueduct Racetrack. But there used to be the Black Cowboys right there at the end of Linden Boulevard, and they used to have wonderful events for us. Nas can get it. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Even though he's from Queens and I represent Brooklyn, Nas can. Nas can. Totally can. Ooh, enjoy the trail ride. We don't know yet if it's a trail ride. I got to catch up on the chat. I'm in Florida. It will rain. It's too hot. And the bugs. You mean the palmetto birds? That's what they used to tell me when I lived in Sanford, Florida. They said, those aren't bugs. Those are palmetto birds. Being married is like being on a diet. You can still look at the menu. You just can't order. Okay. I can see that. I look at the menu and I'll talk to my husband about the menu all the time. I used to live in Florida as a kid. I do not miss those days. Samantha says, I saw Nas recently. He was amazing and so handsome. He is definitely aging like wine. He's aging like wine. I will give you that. I'll be more of a rodeo concert style event. Oh, I said what I said. I like those. I really like those. Enjoy. It poured down in a minute, Ari. I don't mind an outdoor concert. Who can get it from Brooklyn? No hip hop cuties in BK. I'm trying to remember. Wait a minute. High vibe. Are you? Oh my gosh. High vibe. Brooklyn artists who can get it. Wait a minute. You just threw down a gauntlet. You just threw down the gauntlet. You just threw it down. Big Daddy Kane is from Brooklyn. Okay. Technically, y'all like to think he from Harlem, but actually, formerly known as Mos Def, he's from Brooklyn. Busta Rhymes is from Brooklyn. Let's get it all out. Fabulous is from Brooklyn. Yes, BDK, Big Daddy Kane. He does still count. He does count. Now I don't know if Busta Rhymes can get it, but Busta Rhymes still looking good. Still looking good. I'm just saying, what are we basing it on? What are we basing it on? Were they born in Brooklyn or are they, remixed? Because technically, the Wu-Tang Clan was in Brooklyn and they had to leave Brooklyn. Mama said we had to leave Brooklyn and move to Shaolin. So are they really from Shaolin? I'm just saying. Technically, they were from Brooklyn. Nah, Mos Def is a shorty. I don't mind short. Short means it's closer to the ground. I'm just saying. That's just me. Special ed, okay. Special ed is Fab could have gotten it, but the hand problems is a no. Okay, hand problem is a no. So Fabulous is out of running. I'm just saying, y'all could figure out who y'all want, who can get it, who can, who cannot. Now, certain parts of certain groups, because Ali Shaheed is from Brooklyn, A Tribe Called Quest. Come on now. Come on now. Q-Tip is from Brooklyn, but actually Fife, I think, was from Queens. I'm not sure. So y'all need to recognize. Hey, K Sharp in chat. Where is Father MC from? Let me see Father MC. Let me see where Father MC is from. Let me see where exactly Wikipedia is saying he's from. They say just New York City. Oh, born in Brooklyn. There you go. But he grew up in Far Rockaway, Queens. Thank you, Jackson Tabasco. Thank you. The Father MC is from Harlem. I just pulled it up. Father MC, they say, was born in Brooklyn and grew up in Far Rockaway, Queens. Okay? I'm stuck on Morris Chestnut, even though he's not a rapper. You stuck on Morris? I used to like rappers from around Mount Vernon, except Diddy. Yeah, Yonkers was wild. I went to Yonkers one time and ran. Imagine I was fine going to Camden, New Jersey. I was fine going to some real hood places in New Jersey. But Yonkers, I was like, yeah, I need to go. I need to leave. I need to leave by 10. Because ain't nothing good happening after midnight. Father MC. Y'all saying Harlem, but I looked it up. Now, Jay-Z, Jay-Z is married. Okay, let's put it there. Jay-Z is married, but maybe Jay-Z's pockets could get it, but not necessarily Jay-Z. I'm not a fan that much. Heavy D's from New York. Yes, he is. The overweight lover, Heavy D. Yes, he is. He was from New York. Rest in peace. Miss Boogie Down said Yonkers is wild. Girl. That's all I got to say. That four-letter word, wild. High five, I'm questioning you. She could say Jay-Z. Jay-Z is, hey, he's somebody's husband. So clearly he's somebody's, choice. But yes, Miss Boogie Down, Yonkers is wild. Yonkers, Mount Vernon, the Bronx, and Harlem had all the uptown record artists. Yeah, because Brooklyn was a little too wild. But you see, Brooklyn for me was, the star of Brooklyn was Tyson. And other than Biggie, and Kim and stuff, the star of Brooklyn was Mike Tyson. That's all I got to say. The star for Brooklyn for me was Mike Tyson. I'm like Sonia, I like Merriman. And if y'all have been to Lady T-Buck's chat, you know exactly who Sonia is. Loved me some Heavy D. Went to their library for the first time recently, and they had a tribute to Heavy D. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. I was so sad about when Heavy D passed away. If he was single, it's a no. Y'all just dogging Jay-Z. Heavy D was from Mount Vernon, I think. Oh, C's, little C's, okay. Go grab the car, bring it round, little C's, that little C's. go bring the car so we could fill up my belly. Cheese, cheese, eggs, Welch's grape. What? High vibe. Okay, I retract my earlier statement that y'all better leave the husband of Beyonce alone. So another Brooklyn artist that it's not about rap only. Brooklyn also brought out Maxwell. Okay, I need y'all to put some respect. Crush on you, C's. Oh yeah. See, here's my thing. See, Crush on You. I didn't like C's in it. I preferred the one that was only Kim. I was like the album Crush on You had too much C's. ETV, you checking for little C's? C's went and he did what nobody would be allowed to do. If Biggie was around, ain't nobody would have snitched on Kim. I'm just saying, none of the fellas would have snitched on Kim if Biggie was still around. You're gonna spit those rhymes, girl. I be nagging my husband because he doesn't know the songs it comes from, and I'll be saying something, and he'd be like, "Where's that from now?" Nope, nope. He too short. Little C's is too short. Yes, Maxwell is yummy. Yes, Maxwell is yummy. Uh-oh. See, to go to Africa, I didn't need to know that. Yes, Maxwell in concert is a good time. Yes, I saw him in Coney Island and Newark. Yes, when Maxwell first album came out and he had that concert, I was there in Madison Square Garden Theater, the last row, but I was there. My girlfriend, that's when I learned not to wait for your friends that were saying they would get tickets too. Don't wait on them, just get the tickets. Whether you find them or not, you could always sell your ticket. Tyson Beckford, he's a very cool person. The ladies in the chat has an issue with height. Some of them, I don't have an issue with height at all. I am perfectly fine with someone's height. Now, y'all may not like him. He's passed away, but he was certainly born in Brooklyn. ODB was born in Brooklyn, and he was always great for a good old kiki and laugh. MC Light, Foxy Brown, repping the ladies of BK. What? Yes, MC Light. Now, my favorite MC Light was good old Georgie. Oh my gosh, that was my favorite from MC Light. But y'all, I tell you, you remember MC Light with Escape? That song Keep On? I had that haircut that summer. I had that short cut. It was hectic to maintain in New York heat. But I had that whole thing, and I even got the shirt, the purple silk shirt. Oh yes. That go and look at Keep On, MC Light and Escape. Many got put on probation. What? Heard they say that? Yeah. Yep, he tried to end folks that had contracts with him. Child, who didn't? Did he try to put under? Girl. Lola is Brooklyn. ODB, I like his style. I really liked ODB's style. And listening to Wu-Tang and stuff, they would say that ODB had a lot to say with them and their songs, even some of their hooks. K-Shop, yes, please replay the live. I hope you all have already liked. We're having a great conversation here. I'm glad this ElCid Unscripted is getting y'all to engage more. So please make sure you have hit that like button. So Salt and Pepper are my girls. Now we going over. Okay, we were checking for the men. Now we repping the ladies. We repping the ladies. Pepper and cappuccino. Now no. Okay, y'all are taking me back. What a show today. Yes, Salt and Pepper. ODB was his own man. Much respect. When ODB put that food stamp card on his album cover, I was like, they ain't ready for you. You know they ain't ready for you, ODB. Why you gotta hurt him so hard? Then when he went with Mariah, is Rakim from New York? I want to say yes, but I'll have to look him up. Just jump in the conversation all late. You didn't know what's going on. Well, what we were talking about was who can get it. We started off talking about who in the rap back in the day could get it. Then we started off with New York artists. And now we're also talking about just good artists. The ladies have stepped up. So that's why Salt and Pepper, MC Light, They're all, stepping forward. D'Angelo, where is he from? I thought D'Angelo was from the South. Yes, Rakim is from New York. I thought D'Angelo was from the South, but I could be wrong. But for someone who knew D'Angelo's first album back to back to back, I really don't know too much about where he was born. He was born in Richmond, Virginia. See? Oh, it's coming back to me. It's coming back to me. It's coming back to me. Yep, D'Angelo is from Richmond, Virginia. Too Short ain't cute, but I love his raps, especially the custom ones. Now, yeah, Too Short, if we gonna go West Coast, before there was Pac and a whole bunch of others, Too Short was my jam. And I used to have to hide to buy his albums and listen to it with my Walkman, okay? Okay, I used to have to get the cassette, rock my cassette tape till the tape pop. Yep, that was me for Too Short. Thanks for recapping from New York, so I'm all over this. Yep. I was born in the islands. But definitely Brooklyn, Brownsville. Ooh, finished my rearing. Let's put it that way. Queen Latifah in command. I was waiting to see who would put her name out there. I know she's from Jersey, but she's one of my favorites. Yes. I like Queen Latifah too because she came in giving it to him, Queen. And as a plus size sister, and as a fellow plus size sister, who are you calling her? Yes, Queen Latifah in command. Remember, he was on MTV with his wife in a limo with the food stamp car. Girl, when they pulled up to that food stamp location to get their stamps in the limo, girl. Lisa and the Cult Jam. Hey, Jay Blake. This is ElCid Unscripted, where anything goes, Jay Blake. And right now, we are going down memory lane with these artists. First, we started off just New York, and we branching out. Somebody threw in Too Short from the West Coast. Now we got Lisa and the Cult Jam. We just throwing out and going down memory lane, okay? Glad to have you here, Jay Blake. Rakim's supposed to be my BD, either him or Guru. Okay. Is it too late? Do they know? Jackson Tabasco, Queen Latifah is my fave. When I heard Ladies First, I was an official fan. Yeah, back in the day, it was Ladies First. But then, when MC Light came out with Roughneck, it was all over. I need it in the morning, so I gotta have a Roughneck. Samantha, I love all cried out on my playlist. Oh, wow. How does it feel? Yep. West Coast was Warren G. Now, Miss Boogie Down, I have to say, I wasn't a fan of Warren G, and I know y'all ain't gonna like me with that. I understand totally, but I wasn't a Warren G fan. But I was definitely a Too Short fan. Definitely. Oh, you want to know which island? It sometimes come out with what I'm saying. You'll hear a word or two which island, but it's one of the southernmost islands of the Caribbean. Yes, UNITY. Now, when Queen Latifah and Naughty by Nature was at their height and they were having concerts, oh yes, I was in Camden. Yes. I love a 90s dance hall right now, girl. If you ever knew back in the day when I used to DJ just a little bit in high school, and I put on the one song guaranteed to get people to come out and dance was Wickedest Slam. And if you know that song, you know what I'm talking about. If you know that song, you know what I'm talking about. Queen Latifah gave us rap, jazz, R&B, living single, cover girl makeup, set it off. Gifts keep on giving. Now, y'all forget the movie Just Right. That was my favorite. I didn't want to believe it at first. Common and Queen Latifah in a romantic movie with Paula Patton? No, Paula Patton, I'm sorry. No, ain't no way. But it was really good movie, Just Right. MC Melody was one of my faves. Oaktown's 357. Well, y'all know Tupac was sexy and talented. Yes, he was. Just enough, just a pinch enough a gangster to have you worried. Just enough. Just a little bit. Well, Guru is deceased. Girl, see, Guru as part of Black Star? Absolutely. You knew Guru's voice the minute he came out. Somebody called Sonia the 90s, the 90s. Yeah, she may. Hey, Sonia, if you're here, we are talking about your favorite era, the 90s. Make sure you hit that like, as long as giving the time for the views. Warren G rapped about getting robbed all the time. Yeah, he did. He did. No, not Haiti. I'm talking about one of the southernmost islands of the Caribbean. Tupac, DOC, Too Short. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, I wasn't. I was. Uh, I was a little fan of some of the West Coast, but for me, the West Coast was like two Cypress Hills, but it was the drag of the bass. That is what I liked with West Coast. I had an uncle at West Coast, so I used to leave New York and sometimes go spend like 2-3 weeks out west with him. And we used to drive through Watts. We used to go through all over the place, and he was chill. And he, we did not look alike. Let's put it that way. And was not an uncle through marriage, but we did not look alike. So we would always have people looking at us real funny when we were rolling through all over LA and Vegas. That's when some people have an aunt they can ride with and aunt that they can get into trouble with and it never gonna make it back home. I had an uncle like that. Farside, my favorite West Coast group. Yes, I remember Farside. Many rappers you were talking about from New York are Jamaicans. Heavy D, Busta Rhymes, Sarah. Yep, but I'm not Jamaican. My former mother-in-law was Jamaican. That was my girl. That was my road buddy. People who talk about they had issues with their mother-in-law, I never understood that ever because that was my girl. But no, we are from competing islands, so no. Barbados, you always ask about. I've always asked about your accent. No, not Barbados. That is Rihanna, of course. But no, even southern, more south than Barbados. But you're getting warmer. Yo-Yo was my girl. Now, y'all ain't talking about my other girl. I rock rough and stuff with my Afro puffs. And I used to have Afro puffs, y'all. LTV, yes. Salt and pepper. I never liked Naughty by Nature. Tresh could rhyme. Vinny's arms were too short. Now, we weren't talking about that. We ain't talking about the arms and stuff. But I knew every single word for OPP. That summer, if you didn't know Naughty by Nature stuff, you didn't know anything in New York. I'm sorry. Naughty by Nature took over that year. The Fugees and Erykah Badu. Now, Erykah, the B-side of Erykah's first album, absolutely amazing. The Fugees, yes, absolutely amazing. Melody was married to KRS-One. Yes, love the bass. Yeah, the bass there. Michelle, hello. Michelle had the highest speaking voice. She defied gravity in her voice for me. Yep, those are my guesses. Yep, it's one of those three. AK, it's one of those three. And K Sharp got it correct. Yep, it is Trinidad. Yep. Born, raised mostly, but Brooklyn. Yep. Trinidad. That is exactly where I was born and where my family is originally from. Well, part of it is originally from there. Yes, Rage, rock on with your bad self. Love Lady of Rage. Y'all could have your yo-yo and all that, but Lady of Rage, that's my girl. I love mine too, R.I.P. Y'all don't know nothing about this Marvin Sacy or Cease and Bobby Blue Band along with Al Green. That's real music. Okay, I said what I said. Okay, you gonna bring the real to it. Let me put it this way. My granddaddy did not allow for certain music to play in his house. But what we definitely can play was Al Green. What we definitely can play is Lady Aretha, her original. Before she became Aretha Franklin, he used to call her Lady Aretha. Her original music, Dr. Feelgood and all that stuff. So I said what I said, I'll give you that. But don't think I don't know about Al Green and Otis Redding and all of them. All of them. Nina Simone. Don't think I don't know about them too. Tree to the Bone. I was born. Yes, but I'm not because, girl, I can't. As my mother would say, my Trinity card is gone, long gone. long before anything. The minute I would summer in Canada, and then the minute my feet hit the ground, she was like, "Yeah, I know you were born in the wrong place." Because when I tell you Brooklyn was like that to me, I was like, mm-mm. She was like, "Yeah, you were born in the wrong place." But no, I have not. I've been back what, once or twice. That's it. Love her. I'm guessing it's a Lady of Rage. I'm kind of behind. I'm familiar with them, but I'm not a fan of the style of music. Yes. BB King, thank you for the flags. Mia X. I don't know Mia X now. I know Maya. No, not a fan of that music. Okay. I like Rage on Steve Harvey show too. She played a high school student. I didn't know she was on Steve Harvey show. I didn't watch Steve Harvey show. Lady T-Bug, you moving to the South now? So I used to have us kids playing his records for him. I'm in the South. I definitely do. I'm from the South. I am in the South. Rocksteady is one of my favorite Aretha songs now. Dr. Feelgood. Or I Ain't Never Loved a Man the way that I loved you. And then you hear that horns. The thing is, I grew up with brass as a form. Well, the Trini side of me, brass as an instrument that's very powerful. So a lot of the Aretha stuff with that brass, when she would take the music out, she would sing and then it would come back. I'm telling you, Nina Simone, I saw her in Atlanta either 99 or 2000s. Amazing concert. Was it 99? I think I went to that one, but I thought it was 98 because I knew I was in Atlanta in 98. G Baby Live, Al Green. I just be singing his songs in the car. I understand. LTV, them folks don't know nothing about Louisiana. Now, don't test me on Louisiana, because I tell you, Juvenile. Okay, I am with the Lil Wayne at the time. I'm telling you, but Juvenile, that time, the Master P's of it all, I'm telling you, do not pull, don't start digging in the crates with me, with music. My ex is No Limit. Master P credits her for keeping NOLA sound after he moved to Oakland to get his career started. I didn't know it was X. Maybe I kept the X out of her name. I thought it was just Maya. Nina Simone was phenomenal. It was at Chastain. Yes, I think I went to that one. And if it's the same one, I know Centennial Olympic Park at the time also had Gladys Knight, and we went to that concert as well. Yep, the bounce music. My ex was signed to Master P. Most of the late 80s, early 90s hip hop samples, James Brown, yep, and that era, we played the oldies all the time. Yeah, my grandfather was famous for telling me, that song you like? let me show you where it came from. He could spot, he had an ear for it. Yeah, Shake It Fast will forever be on my playlist. Came up with my mic in hand. Don't let me leave with my foot in your be cool. Dun, dun. See, the problem is he in jail again for the same crime that he served his time on. I was willing to give him a chance after he got out. I was willing to give him a chance because he served his debt to society. But now he back in, so I had to remove him. I'm sorry. Yes, Juvenile. Now, people don't understand why I like Huh. That's my favorite song for Juvenile. You know, my husband likes Slow and all that. But me, Huh? What? That is my favorite Juvenile song. I knew you were going to say Juvie. I'm a Magnolia shorty. Yep. That reminds me of Louisiana people. Are you trying to say Big Freddie or Big Frida's boyfriend? Devon passed away. Samantha played her music in John Coltrane nightly. You're spitting. Girl, it's a good time with me. If we get into music, y'all, if we get into music and I start switching up, again, that's back in my DJ past, my little bit of DJing for friends' parties. Yeah, I used to have a ton of records. Mystical, please, you heard me. Yeah, I'm telling you, Mystical really hurt me. When he came out of jail and people were carrying on about him, When people were carrying on about Mystical, I was like, y'all, he served his debt to society. That's what we say. We need to give him a chance. And then he did that foolishness again. I was like, I got to be done. He ain't learned nothing. Because again, we also got Luda. Luda had that move, get out the way. What? Watch all my Cadillac spills, and he can't even do all that because you acted a fool. It's kind of like, I'm sorry, all say that Jay-Z had Best of Both Worlds with Robert, and now he couldn't even put that album out because Robert went and got himself, justly arrested and convicted of his crimes. Nelly's getting hot in here. I wasn't too much of a fan. Hey, Chick-fil-A. Good evening. This is ElCid Unscripted, and the chat has me going down memory lane with music. So Chick-fil-A, your favorite artist, your favorite song. We are here in the music aisle. Y'all remember Virgin Records? When you go into that store and you could listen and put the headphones on and pick, and the albums are all over the store and you could stand there and listen to a whole album or at least a few songs? That's what we're doing here, Chick-fil-A gal. Now, I wasn't a fan of St. Louis. I wasn't a fan of St. Louis because I felt like St. Louis was trying to be not quite south. I wasn't going down. It was, yeah. Peter's reality show on Fuse, RP his partner. Lil Wayne, Lollipop. Yeah, you see, all Lil Wayne. Now Lil Wayne just needs to be washed. Somebody needs to just wash him because he just looked dirty. I'm sorry. Noda had me watching his show. Yeah, Mystical hurt me with his crimes. Yes, he was my fave. He was my fave. He was a close second to Juvenile. I don't like Luda. Okay. Now that hurt Jackson Tabasco. I don't like Luda. Because, you will turn on my car right now and you will hear doon doon. Oh, doon doon doon. Oh, see, splash waterfalls. Turn on my car right now. We taking a ride. You're gonna hear Luda coming out the stereo. Sorry, I'm sorry, Jackson Tabasco. If we on a road trip, I gotta be able to put a little Luda in there. I'm sorry. Andre 3000, yeah. Ludacris with Dungeon, Alien, Outcast. Did y'all see if y'all follow Big Boy on social media, he's got 3 owls. He's always had the owls, but he's got the 3 owls on camera with him saying he's on the set of his new show. It is hilarious. He also breeds, I believe, bully puppies, but he also has his birds of prey, his owls. Sarah said the show was good. I watched College Hill with Big Frida was on it. I watched a little bit of it. I didn't watch too much. Yes, Outkast and Goody Mob. Now, Outkast, truly, okay, if we're going down Outkast and Goody Mob, yes, definitely. But when we started with, hey girl, let me whisper in your ear, that right there, I'm sorry, y'all. Yin Yang Twins took it to the next level for me. I'm sorry. See, just like I say with advice and other things, I'm just a tad bit different. So yes, I do like Outkast, do like Goody Mob. But when Yin Yang Twins came in with that whisper, what? Who is whispering on their rap and still making a hit? Now, AK F350, why I can't take Luda seriously. Everything is like comedy with him. Yes, it is. It's a comedy, but most of them are comedy. Pull up to the club, all VIP, gas tank on E, but all drinks on me. Wipe me down. That's a comedy too. Can't forget Nappy Roots, so much talent. Yes. Outkast and all the Masterpiece Squad. Good picks. Juvenile wasn't No Limit. Mystical was my fave. Yeah, Juvenile wasn't No Limit, but he was definitely from the South. Make love to me, Luda. Oh my God, he seemed childish. I guess I like the fun time. That's what I like. Take your shirt to his head like a helicopter. Yes. Let me jump out the car. Don't jump out the car. I'm going to slow down, Jackson Tabasco. We're going to slow down to about, 5 miles an hour, and then you could jump out. I'm not going to let you jump out when I'm doing 80, but You gonna have to jump out when we slow down to 5 miles an hour, and I'll slow down at a rest stop. Okay, we gonna slow down at a rest stop so you can totally get a ride someplace else. Chicken and beer, yes, yes, but we can't play Luda, in the car with AK F350 and with Jackson Tabasco. Okay, Jeezy, yes, but Jeezy, instead of lyrics, Jeezy got me with the beats. With the beats, yes, the whole Dungeon and Goody Mob family. Now, what was it? What is his other name? Goody Mob was absolutely is absolutely amazing. I thought they were coming out with another album. So I'm in a DMV, says to go to Africa, where go-go music is supreme. Yes, doing the butt. Yes, doing the butt was out. It was out for everybody. Am I that far in the comments? Yin Yang Twins. Boosie? No, I was not ever a fan of Boosie. Ever. Yes, LL Cool J is from New York. He's from Queens. That song, I represent Queens. She was raised down in Brooklyn. That was the year I gave brothers in Queens a chance to date me, and I regretted it. Let's just say that. I think in New York for sure. UGK International Players After. Ooh, CeeLo Green. Yes, CeeLo Green. Now, when he went and did the song with Melody Fiona, oh my gosh, CeeLo is a musician, definitely a musician. Snowman is his other name. Now, did y'all ever listen to Music Soul Child under his other name? I think it was like Purple Magical something. I know Music Soul Child had another name. Was it Music Soul Child that had another name? I couldn't remember. Can't remember his other name. Yeah, Purple Wonderlove. If y'all ever followed Music Soul Child and knew him under his other name, Purple Wonderlove, and love is L-U-V, he did have some good music under Purple Wonderlove. It was different, but he did have some good music. Let's face it, 90s had the beats. Well, maybe even better, the 60s and 70s had the beats, and the 90s kind of remixed it. I listen to Uncle Luke and the 2 Live Crew all day. Don't judge me. And MC Hammer argue with someone else. Okay, girl, you can listen to your Hammer because Hammer is gangster. Y'all, I'm gonna put it out there. MC Hammer is gangster. The thing is, I can't look at his performance. I did go to a concert back in the day, but I can't look. Those pants were too distracting. But yes, Uncle Luke, yes, you got to get something with the censored label on it. Music's rap career was crap. I love music. Yes. I need love, switch things up, and I loved it. Yeah, it was. It gave LL a whole other, no for Music Soul. Okay. I like Music Soul Child, but I couldn't take his singing for more than 30 minutes. Oh, dang. I love all of Music's Neo Soul albums. Got to see him in Philly. Nice. I still listen to Hammer. Okay, so Jackson Tabasco, you could ride with Samantha. She still listen to Hammer. I thought I was the only one who didn't like MC Hammer. Girl, I can't look at him perform. And the repetitiveness, I understand he's marketable. Totally marketable. The Lunchbox, the cartoons, marketable. But now, How can you talk about good music without mentioning Luther? You see, I'm letting y'all direct the conversation. I'm unscripted. I'm letting y'all take the reins on this. Now, Luther? Which Luther? All the Luthers? Or Big Luther? Or Little Luther? Which Luther we talking? Because I will tell you. See, I'm always on the B side of an album. If you ever listen to my favorite love song with Luther was One Night With You. And that was one of his more recent albums. And that song said, can I have one night with you for the rest of my life? Every day, can I just have one night? If you ever have a chance, that to me was one of his best modern songs. But Luther ain't saying nothing that I didn't like. Why I've been singing Tootsie Roll all day? We pulling you out. We pulling you out in the open, Jay Blake. Woo! AK Jackson said we would do. Jackson Tabasco said we were doing so good. 95 South, Duval, Florida. Duval? What? That's another place. I could hang in Duval. I could hang in Duval, but I had to get out of Yonkers before midnight. Luther was everything. Did y'all see the documentary? Never Too Much. I did see some of the documentary. I never got to finish it. I got distracted, but I did see some of it. I'm hoping it did him justice. Jay Blake, I swear today in the store, me and my sister playing around trying to still Tootsie Roll. Don't y'all better stretch now before y'all Tootsie Roll, or before your Tootsie start rolling, okay? Yes, my mother was a Luther fan too. You thought Music Soldier started out as the Hustle Purple Wonder? He did, and then when he made it really, really popular, being Music Soul Child, he tried to go back as Purple Wonderlove and do something with that, but it never really got off the ground. Jackson Nebraska, I could do Uncle Luke, just no hammer. No hammer. Everybody said yes, the documentary was excellent. Probably because of what he said about Diddy's Little P. Okay. Keith Sweat did it for me. Yep, Keith Sweat was out there. Keith Sweat was, Keith Sweat still, dying that hair. I remember the verses Keith Sweat with Bobby Brown. He really made Bobby look like an old man. He really made Bobby look like an old man. I wish we still had verses. I really enjoyed verses. I would have paid money to go see verses. I really would have. I would have paid money to go see some versus concerts, even if it's just online and they're in a studio and they televise the studio. I would love to see versus. Now, y'all were talking about Jay-Z. Now, what I did like, because again, I really was a rock and roll girl. White Snake, Def Leppard, Cheap Trick, all of them, Guns N' Roses. I was a rock and roll girl too. So when Jay-Z and Linkin Park did that crossover album and songs, absolutely amazing. I like Evanescence too as a more modern rock and roll group. I'm telling you, I really love a whole lot of music, all different kinds. Keith Sweat, Harlem, New York, and Teddy Riley. Now, when we talked about Afrobeats before, I love Tim. Tim can do no wrong for me with Afrobeats, and her musicality can do no wrong for me. Keith Sweat said he would rob the crowd and the DJ during the verses. Florida Uncle Luke, Trick Daddy, Rick Ross. Yes. No lies told, Lady T-Bug. Now, Lady T-Bug is just said one of my favorite. Y'all, I'm always on the B side. It's never the completely popular person, but this Plies. Y'all better be following Plies on Instagram. Y'all better know Plies music, because Plies, hey, I don't party like the white boys, but I do get like the white boy. Y'all don't understand Plies. Y'all just don't know Plies like that. Run off on the plug? Babyface versus Teddy Riley was the best versus. I can see that. It's one of the best for me, but I can see that. Keith was begging and sounded like sheep. Begging or baying? Run DMC did a lot of rock and roll also. Yes. Reggae, anyone? We had a lot of reggae. No, I told you my song was Wicked Islam, I was a reggae. I wasn't a huge reggae fan, but I was a fan more of classic reggae. Now, classic, there ain't nothing Bob Marley did that's ever terrible. Nothing at all. Florida's Pitbull and DJ Khaled. Pitbull, I could take in small doses. DJ Khaled, yes, I could more. Now, Trick Daddy and Trina, now, y'all ain't no now. Could represent like me. What? That right there was a force to be reckoned with. Trick Daddy and Trina? Do wasted. I do get wasted like the white boys. Plies, what I'm telling you. Y'all better be following him too. Y'all better be following him on Instagram. because he be having me rolling. Well, Lenny can get his life and the next. Lenny can get. Oh, you mean Lenny Kravitz? You mean Lenny Kravitz? I hope you mean Lenny Kravitz. Because yes, Lenny Kravitz can get it this life and the next lifetime, according to Erica Badu. I don't like her. I like Davido and Burna Boy. Oh, you don't like Tim? Wizkid, yes. Burna Boy, yes. Davido, some of it. But I like Tim. Oh, to go to Africa, we having our first little difference. I love Trina Kaya. Oh, Trina and Kaya. Okay. Remix with Plies and Ari Lennox was fire. Yes. King of Pop, Michael Jackson was the best ever, in my opinion. Okay, I will tell you, musically, yes, yes, definitely. But if we go in there, we gonna have to, I was when everybody was all caught up with Michael Jackson, I was caught up in a different time period of the Tina, of the Bee Gees, of that kind, that direction. So I got into Michael Jackson like way late, um, like when George Michael's Faith came out. That album Faith, which was the first one I bought with my own money, that came out. That's when I really got into Michael Jackson like real late. Burner Reggae. No Michael J for me. Okay, we have no Michael J. Now, Smooth Criminal for me musically was the best thing. The way the music and the rhythm flowed, definitely. Yes. Well, okay. Everybody loved the electric slide. I will tell you right now, anything that required choreography, I didn't know how to do. I didn't know how to do. If you get me out there trying to do electric slide, we gonna all be sliding down river because I cannot remember the steps. I can't do it. So if y'all gonna judge me, just judge me. Just go ahead and judge me. Yes, Lenny Kravitz, girl. Ooh, Lenny Kravitz. Ooh, yes. You get it in this lifetime and the next. Trina is the baddest chick. What? Yes, she still is. I still love Trina. I'm sorry. Even the shenanigans on the show, I love her. Now, see, to go to Africa, we are back together again. We are back together again. We have just dipped ourselves in Lake Winnetonka and we have been baptized together again. See, Prince, to me, in my humble opinion, that is my greatest artist. So again, while everybody was with Michael Jackson, all accolades go out to him and what he's earned. Prince, for me, that was the top of the mountain for me. Yes, I love George Michael and the Bee Gees and Rod Stewart. I couldn't get past the Here with Rod Stewart. MJ's soundtrack is in my entire childhood. See, I think that's why I'm a little different with my music, is because he wasn't the primary of my childhood as far as music was. It was other musicians and other music. I'm Michael Jackson all day, every day, Off the Wall, Thriller, my favorite. Tina Marie Square Biz album was the first I ever bought. Right. If y'all want to put down what is the first album you bought with your own money, when you had that first part-time job, when you had the first cassette tape, the first vinyl record. Well, for me, it was George Michael Faith. That vinyl record was the first one. If you want to put that down, I will definitely highlight it. This is new, but I've been trying to pop my head, say, where them fans at? Girl, I can't. Where them fans at? They at the store, because I ain't buying one. But I do love to admire folks with fans. Okay, B-side of Off the Wall. Okay, love that too. My friend told me about Prince's song "Sexy M." You see, here's my thing. Prince disappointed me. Okay, Jay Blake said LL Cool J was her first album. Prince is my favorite too of all time. Gifted writer, musician, vocals. My God. Now, Mary J. Blige, 411 on cassette tape was your first. What's the 411? David Bowie and Prince. Now, David Bowie will put on a show. Pink Floyd too. My thing is, I bought so many I don't remember. Girl, I understand. What's the 411? I understand you bought so many you don't remember. I just remember because I was on vacation, and I'd gotten a vacation because my family said if you get great grades in your Spanish class. We'll take you to a Spanish speaking country. You'll be our translator, and we'll go for a week. Bet, bet. So I did get like an A minus that year because I was struggling in the Spanish class to begin with, but I ended up pulling it together for an A minus. And we went, and they don't tell you that what you learn in the classroom is different from what you speak on the street with people. And we went to Venezuela, we went to Caracas, and I bought with my own money from that trip the George Michael Faith, and I was just so happy because it was tied to a trip. Is why I remembered it. Maxwell Embryo was my first CD. Oh wow, K Sharp. I don't remember my first, maybe New Edition, my favorite child artist. First cassette tape was Eric B. and Rakim, Paid in Full. What? Girl. We have an eclectic bunch and I love it. I love music, y'all. But again, wide variety. You pull an artist out, especially one 90s and before, I definitely will know that artist. But I have a very eclectic. I can go from very much the new editions of the world all the way back to Al Green, all the way back. If you see my playlist, you'll be like, who is this person? What age is this person? Because it's all over. My dad would shut me down when I used to sing Salt and Pepper Push It. That's why I used to sing it at my friend's house. Okay? I would sing Push It by Salt and Pepper at my friend's house. My first cassette was Ghetto Boys. What? Yes, Ghetto Boys. My mind is playing tricks on me. I know that last verse, and my husband will be like, what? It wasn't even close to Halloween. The more I swung, the more flow. He disappeared, and my homeboys did too. My husband gets annoyed because I would sing that dun, 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 the whole time. And I would have to get through the whole thing. And he would be like, this year Halloween fell on the weekend. He's like, oh yeah, you tripping tonight. And he would just let me get through it, and he would just be rolling his eyes. First album was Michael Jackson's Off the Wall. All that was already in the house by the time I was born. Jackson Tabasco, yes, the non-working Walkman. Now we went from the Walkman to the Sony Walkman. We got to say the brand because we all got like Sony or Panasonic. And then we all got, then it went into the CD player, the disc player that used to skip if you walk too fast. What? Hey kids, I wish it worked. Girl, I wish it worked. I still have my iPod. I still have my little iPod. Shuffle or the slim one. I still have that. I still have all my music on there. Still have it. It's still connected to something that it will work. I have all that. My taste is eclectic too. I have Duke Ellington, Count Basie, Ella Fitzgerald. Yes, all of that. And as I said, my grandparents were also my biological grandfather was about 14 years older than my grandmother. And then her second husband was 16 years older than her. So we had that. We had, my grandmother's taste in music, my mother's taste in music. Then I came around with the whole rap thing. They don't like rap. I came around with the whole rap thing. So we had generations. I do like Blake Shelton and Winona Judd. I did like some of Winona Judd. Now I did like, I do have my great grandmother now. Y'all, I'm surprised nobody pulled it out on me. My great grandmother used to listen to the good old Opry all the daggone time. So country music too? Yes, I was raised on that too. Just Rhonda said mine was 45. Patti LaBelle, Lady Marmalade. What? Avec quoi ce soir? What? Down in Moulin Rouge. I remember when MJ came to our city and was on top of a department store because I was too young to go. He was on performing. Okay, thank you. I was like, he was or you were? Yes, hee-haw. Definitely. Somebody had said something at the office, and I belted out a Patsy Cline song. And they were like, what? And then one of my ringtones is Johnny Cash. Okay? One of my ringtones is Johnny Cash. And people, if I have it on, which I usually don't, and they hear that Johnny Cash, they don't look in my direction because they don't think it's me. My neighbors probably hated me because I spent a lot of money on stereo equipment and played my music loudly when I was younger. Now, if I liked the music to go to Africa, I didn't have a problem with you blasting it. I did not have a problem with you blasting it. But if I didn't like the music, then I'm gonna have to call code enforcement. Me and my dad listen to country music and watch Hee Haw. I do like country music. I like some of it. I like some of it. The whole coal miner's daughter and all of that stuff. My great grandmother was on it. And then when I grew up later on and I kind of stopped listening to it, I ended up with a coworker who was all about country music and the more modern country music. She took the house, the car, the dog. I have learned. Sorry. Caribbean people love country. What's the connection? I'm curious. I don't know. I don't understand why. I don't understand why she loves country music so much, but I'm thinking it's the stories. As people always say, there's a connection, there's a story element to it. And I'm thinking it's the music, and the guitar and all of that stuff. That's just my guess. But yes, my great grandmother, that woman had two things, or three. You'll always find the Yankees pinstripes playing on her TV, and don't you dare touch it. Don't you dare touch the soap operas that are playing As the World Turns, Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, in that order. And country music going to be playing. And the Louis L'Amour Western books were always, she would always buy a new one. So I would read Western too. I love Patsy Cline movie and song Crazy, Crazy for Being. Mm-hmm. I have heard Crazy a lot. That would be playing all the time. Remember when Whitney took a little country song, blew it up? I Will Always Love You. Exactly. And I love the fact that Dolly Parton was like, girl, go for it. Go for it. Lady T-Bug Hee Haw was my show. Yeah, I love bluegrass. There's some bluegrass. It's kind of like jazz. There's some bluegrass that I like. It's kind of like jazz with the vocalist. There's some bluegrass I like. Not a whole bunch of it, but I will give it a try. One of the few country and Western singers I like is Chris Stapleton. Yes, I do like some of his. I'm not completely on board, but yes, I do like some of it. So yes, bluegrass is just like that for me. But it, I have to really, really feel it. But I'm telling you, my mother had to talk me out of getting a Guns N' Roses tattoo when I was a young lady. I so wanted a Guns N' Roses tattoo because what? Welcome to the Jungle was it. November Rain was it. I was totally, totally a rock and roll fan at that time. I did not get it. She talked me out of it because she was like, oh my God, who would want? It was at a time where tattoos was still a stigma. So to get a big old tattoo of Guns N' Roses, or I should say Pow Pows and Roses on you wasn't the thing. It was not the thing. Dolly got paid from Whitney for sure. Right. And my thing is I liked it. It's fine. It was wonderful. Whitney totally knocked it out of the ballpark. Is one of the few where the secondary artist did it way better than the original artist. And the thing was, she never came out and said it was Dolly's song. Dolly never came out and said, hey, that's my song. People let it run, and then eventually we found out, or eventually it became popular to know that was originally done by Dolly Parton. Now, if we're talking about really good music back in the day, Lionel Richie did this song. And I didn't know Lionel Richie wrote this song until way later. Was Kenny Rogers, 3 Times a Lady. I didn't realize Lionel Richie wrote that for him to sing. I thought it was Kenny Rogers' song. Yes, lady. Yes. If you ever hear, and I have heard him sing it in concert live back in the day, of course, But I'm telling you, Lady was written by Lionel Richie. I didn't know that till years later, or years later when I went to the concert and he said this was written for me by Lionel Richie. I was like, dang. But that Lady, oh, Mr. ElCid, no, anytime he would play that just to have me in a good mood, and when we want to start songs. So here's a game, because I know, and y'all say, all these songs and all these artists. Here's a game we would play. Mr. ElCid will find a song and he would play it, and I need to guess the song or the artist, either one, within 5 seconds. He has stumped me only a few times. We have been married for, it's going to be 8 years this summer, and he's only stumped me about 5 times. So even in simple things, and I say that too, and even in simple things, simple activities could be really bonding. He'll play the first few chords of a song. I ain't got to hear you singing. I can hear the chords of the song. It's like, oh, that's that. First few seconds. If it gets to 10 seconds, I'll be like, yeah, I don't know it. Only about 5 times he's really stumped me on what it is. I only know Lionel Richie's version, so Buckwheat's version on SNL. No, you've got to go listen to Lady. You've got to go listen to Lady. It is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, he would play a song. He would find something to just play, and I just got to guess either artist or the song. He doesn't know lyrics and stuff, so he won't know. So whenever a song would come on, and I'll be like, oh, it's da-da-da-da-da. These are the lyrics. He'd be like, golly, how much stuff, he's like, how much stuff is just crammed in your mind that you just have an opportunity to just let out? How do you remember and recall all of that stuff? I always tell him, I don't know. I really don't know. Really, really don't know. So y'all, we play guess the sample. That's hard. Sampling is really genius when you think about it. Right. That guess the sample is hard. And it's really hard when it comes to folks like Q-Tip. Because Q-Tip sometimes doesn't do a whole sample. He'll do a really maybe 6 beats of a sample. And it's like, yeah, guess the sample is hard because some of the things you just really, really can't tell. You have to do Alexa. What that I'm saying, Lady, well, too. Yes, they did bear with say, but I prefer, who he wrote it for. I'm not sure what the oh wow is. I'm hoping it's the trying to guess the song. Trying to guess the song. I just love music, heard music all my life, and turned to doing like the Sweet 16 parties for my friends, and so I keep a whole lot of music information up in my noggin. Kenny Rogers did the song Justice. Now Teddy P attempted to sing it, but not like Kenny. Yeah, I did not like Ted. Now, okay, Teddy Pendergrass, turn out those lights and light those candles. Teddy Pendergrass definitely has his own genre, but he did not do Lady justice at all. But everybody has their lane. Because I would not like to hear Al Green sing Lady. Not at all. Everybody has their own niche, which serve them well, and they've done wonderful in. But y'all, this has been wonderful. This has been great. I am glad y'all were so engaged for ElCid 932 Unscripted. I think we could try and do this again. Y'all have led me down a rabbit hole of music. Maybe next week, whether we do music or not, I'm going to post again, and let's try this again and see at 5:00 next week and see what else y'all do for me unscripted. Again, I have a post, ElCid Unscripted. Let me know what you'd like to talk about. We'll start there, and we don't know where the rabbit hole will take us. We don't know where that rabbit hole will take us. Yes, Q-Tip did sample Joni Mitchell for that for Janet. Thank you, Jackson Tabasco. I'm glad y'all had fun. Wonderful time. So y'all, Sunday I will be back. I'm going to schedule that next Sunday. We'll be back for our unsolicited advice. I have some doozies for you. Sunday at 12:05 EST, and don't forget to check out Just Rhonda 01, Lady T-Bug. I said what I said. Don't forget to check out those channels. Those ladies, of course, were definitely here to support. And I also watch their information, especially if you're all about the case, the Diddy case in New York, and so much. Thank you so much. Enjoyed you today. Have a great weekend. Much love and a great show. Thank you so much. I said what I said. And y'all, I will see you on Sunday for unsolicited advice. And next week we have somebody's son. And tonight I'm definitely, I believe, another round JS and Just Rhonda 01 and I will be talking about Never Ever Met on another round JS's channel at about 9:05. But definitely tomorrow at noon. Then we have somebody's son on Tuesday, and then unsolicited advice again on Wednesday. So I'm going to schedule everything. So make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you have that notification bell so you are here when we have all this fun. But thank you again, y'all, and I'll see you on the